All right, so a warm welcome to the Responsible AI Summit. And we are getting ready to start with a very exciting session. We are joined by Gayathri, who is joining us from India. And Gayathri will be speaking to us about building trust in AI, navigating rights, ethics, and governance. Gayathri, you are an AI security advisor. I will let you tell us a little bit about yourself and then start your presentation. And a warm welcome to you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Clara. I have been part of cybersecurity from near to 17 plus years now, and have worked with multiple organizations like Unilever, Royal Bank of Scotland, Wipro, Shell, and also have been associated with the Indian Institute of Science as a research assistant in protocol engineering lab, working with the ubiquitous computing project. And of late, my journey from past few years have been upskilling to the AI security, turning my security role and application into the field of AI application. And also, I do participate in the forums like IEEE, a group of experts and researchers who come together to share knowledge and experience, specifically in the field of computational intelligence. And I do deliver some kind of security awareness, kind of technical talks or sessions, especially to the STEM community. So this has been my journey. Happy to be here and sharing my thoughts with you all. So yeah, let's get into the session of today. I would like to build on where were we and where we are moving on. Like from the days, if we think about it, from the days of being keeping the books and lectures, and moving on to the era of PC, where we slowly started with Excel or Access or databases, and trying to automate the tasks. And then we have the computers, where most of complex applications are being handled. Today, where we have the AI, which is doing so much of advanced or complex applications. And we see that growth, and it is being so much helpful, and so much advancements in various fields of the world. And I think it's quite good. I think it's been interleaved into the human life. And why we have to look at the responsible AI is all these aspects of advancements in every field that is impacting human life or our own environments. To start with, we do have here generative AI, where you can see the growth of the internet of we can see how it took some 30 years for the PCs to grow, and it took some 12 years for the internet era, and then mobile era was something like 70 months. And but AI, if you see, ChatGPT specifically is the fastest ever, having to be having 100 million users over the period of some short 2 months. So you can see that this very quick rise in the adoption of AI and the usage of AI. And this actually makes it very much challenging in order to adapt, and in order to build security or build responsible AI, responsible innovations around it. So we had much time in all the technology innovations, but it is quite challenging to keep up the advanced or fast pace of this AI development. If we see the adoption rates and the adoption use cases, prominently you can see the software code development, customer service, marketing, knowledge workforce, knowledge worker effectiveness, operations. These are like having a prominent progress, where you can see just from October 2023 over the approximate time of one, not even less than a year, there is a prominent increase in the productivity. And main product differentiation, what they are using is like for natural language interfaces, where you need to interpret the human interactions, core product performance enhancement, which is increasing the efficiencies on a much higher rates, and new products or services which are on a overall level of the technology evolution. It has brought a rapid change in the technology industry. We'll just look at the different adoption trends and the categories across the enterprises. And as you can see, the categories are around human AI interaction, information presentation, defining boundaries, security and control, and regulatory alignment. What we see is the present focus is at leveraging the AI's potential to the best and maintaining that user trust. So everywhere you can see the applications are leveraging AI's potential to enhance their uh, performance or enhance the user experience or something like that. And also you see slowly we have Gen AI securities or safeguards that are coming up. And but what we see as present is, as regulatory alignment, we still have no standard for Gen AI governance or something. Where we see ourselves in these advancements or adoption trends is definitely we will have we'll be able to empower users with the confidence in decisions. As the human AI interactions improves, we will be able to empower users with confidence in the decisions that are being generated on while we are having that human oversight or human judgment as control. And we'll be able to, when we have efficiency, accuracy, we will be also having that confidence levels or context aware explanations, just not deriving useful insights from AI generated outputs, but also it will be able to provide us the explanations, or the confidence level will improve based on those advancements. And I think safeguards, I think we do see every standards, controls, regulations are being developed parallelly, though I would say it is taking its own pace. But we do see that we can have built-in safeguards or built-in controls where we will be able to autonomously detect and prevent any kind of unsafe behaviors effectively. And any threats or security concerns, also we will be able to um, integrate into the systems and also be able to regulate effectively. I think the challenges that we see is more around the high stakes, because the more and more it gets interleaved into the human, human inference or the lives. It is so, the advancement is so ubiquitous that it has impacted into the life of the humans, the life of our daily operations, daily functionality of ours. So the stakes are a little different here if we are going to rely more on the precision, accuracy, or the decision making skills of AI. We have to be more focused on getting the accuracy or ensuring the reliability of the AI models. So yeah, safe and unethical use at enterprise level will be subjective, because you do have, as we can see now, we don't have a much common standards where we are probably growing towards having that standardized regulations which can be commonly adopted. Having a kind of enterprise custom defined um, um, approaches or standards, or what you call as what is acceptable use or what is not acceptable use, will be challenging if enterprise do adopt their own approach of standards. Yeah, I think moving on with these thoughts, we will just see how few examples of AI ethics. I think everyone is quite aware of this self-driving car, where you have the ethical dilemma of how can an automated system, a car, can make a decision on a life or death. So how it will take a decision of whose life is more valuable or whose life is less valuable, or what it has to do in such kind of critical scenarios. I know this is a kind of the existent dilemma which we are not yet able to solve. But what I would like to highlight is having a human oversight under such critical decisions will always be good. So these kind of complex decisions are still where we have not completely achieved a kind of a trust in the AI applications or the AI models. We again see one more examples where the vision recognition systems will actually fail, where humans do pass, the machines will fail. The machines are trained based on certain image patterns, how they are trained, and they might be able to confuse in recognizing the exact image. There may be, I think we have seen so many use cases where I think the billboards were wrongly recognized. And these are the typical use cases where I think the uh, accuracy of it or the recognition can go wrong. When these kind of false interpretation of the machine is applied into critical applications or critical domains, I think that would be a key, a severe implication. So we have to consider these aspects where we have challenges. Before we move on to our this detailed discussion on trust, I just would like to highlight about the controversies that we have as listed by UNESCO on these AI advancements. What are those controversies? Is like digital poverty, where we have data deprivation, where we don't have effective participation from all across the globe. Still, we do have people where they are unaware of any technical gadget, or they don't have access to a simple mobile or laptop or internet or anything. Still, there are people who are not aware of. So the participation or the representation of those kind of people or the crowd or the population is not completely there. So if you can see in the diagram, there is very few areas or geographies which do have active participation into the world of AI. And yeah, outpacing national regulatory adaptation, we know only few geographies are adopting into the regulatory aspects, streamlining, introducing standards and laws and frameworks. Very few companies are very few geographies are participating in that. We do not see still full all of the geographies are participated. And use of content without the consent. There is this violation of right to be forgotten that I can't unlearn. So that is a critical issue where we see some kind of GDPR kind of implications when they are there, and the Gen AI cannot unlearn. So that would become a challenge of the right to be forgotten and those kind of aspects. Unexplainable AI, where used to generate outputs when we don't know how the AI systems are making decisions, how why they are producing certain outputs, certain results they are using. This unexplainability becomes a aspect of not trusting the application, and how I will be using an application which I do not trust. So the other controversies are AI generated content polluting the internet. I think this is more to do with false information, hate speeches, and making the model generate homogeneous outputs. All these kind of things will actually make the internet so polluted that we will not be able to actually differentiate between the good content and polluted data. So lack of understanding of the real world, I think this is what I was telling. A stop sign was rendered invisible to the computer vision and an image of two men on the skis. So that ability of understanding the real world is somewhere still not that accurate, and threatening the plural knowledge construction, that is data poor populations who have less digital presence are definitely at a disadvantage and will not be represented fairly. So yeah, and I think the last and final one is the generating deeper deep fakes. I think total deep fake videos by this is much older article from UNESCO, but yeah, you can see the numbers. Videos by October 2023 presents a 550% increase over the 2019, with 98% being deepfake pornography and 99% of targeting are women. I think deepfakes, I think where famous celebrities were being uh, targeted for these deepfake kind of scams. These are all very concerning issues. So yeah, next moving on to the LLM lessons, where we have few examples where Google's Gemini chatbot, when prompted to generate an image of 1943 German soldier, it generated such data which is unfactual, as we can see. And the same thing with the Gemini's result for the prompt, generate a picture of the US senator, which is, it is trying to falsely be uh, unbiased or undiscriminatory. And I think you can see this Google's AI chatbot Bard sends shares plummeting after it gives wrong answer. These examples actually shows that it's a very delicate balance between having a fair technology and being able to have a good AI technology. And I think these are very concerning examples. I think one example was where I think everyone is aware of the character AI, where it convinced the user of the character AI, who was mostly a kid who was using the character AI, and somehow it convinced the user to actually commit a suicide. So these kind of threats are very alarming, which calls the need for these kind of responsible AI innovations or developments. These use cases are exact reasons why we have to embed and make it seamless so that responsible innovations are done, not just we are just going ahead in the advancement path. And the other use case, that is the Apple's credit card, where the discrimination was based on the gender, where both users, man and woman, had same credit score, same kind of transactions, same kind of banking transactions and details, but because of the gender, the credit score was awarded low. So looking at all these, what we would like to look at to make sure that we do have ethical AI or responsible AI embedded is, we do have this ethical AI aspects, key aspects, transparency, to make sure that any AI system will be transparent and explain why it is generating the results in a human understandable language. Fairness, so that it is not having any kind of bias intentionally being fed or being generated. Privacy, where it is possible to maintain user data privacy, without consent, with consent, what it can do before it can use any of the personal data or sensitive data. Accountability, we should definitely have the accountability taken into account, the responsibilities on what if something goes wrong, what happens when this happens. Do you have effective measures? Do you have effective AI actors that are able to take accountability and act on them? Security, and we have to like AI safety and security are key aspect when it comes to building ethical AI, which will holistically provide security into the AI systems against the threats. So there is a a three population model proposition, where the key to build a trust in the AI or the trust AI regulation, the key aspects are these three actors, that is the users and AI creators and regulators. Users, do they trust and hence use the AI systems? Or AI creators, do they have to follow the safety, optimal development, and build the AI applications so that they do not violate any regulations? And regulators, do they invest in monitoring AI system creators and enforce the regulations effectively, or do they cut corners to save costs? So these three aspects also, or these three population models, is what makes it very key. It's more or less like interdependent model, where applying this will be a part of building trust of AI regulation. We do have LLM models and compliance across prominent foundation models, as you can see, OpenAI, Cohere, Stability, Anthropic, Google, and all these foundation models. We do have the AI requirements, where you can see how they are faring well on the data sources, on the data governance, and you can see their scores, how they are faring well. And I think prominently on data governance, copyrighted data, or risks and mitigations, evaluations, these aspects, or we can see it's not completely fulfilled, but you see all foundation models are doing somewhere well already. If we look at the AI governance and how key companies of the foundation companies are faring, they do have, as you can see, Anthropic, OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Salesforce. They do have their own custom frameworks defined, the responsible scaling policy, or preparedness framework from OpenAI, frontier safety framework from Google DeepMind, and Salesforce trusted AI principles. So more or less, if you see, the core principles are around building the responsible AI. The key focus areas differ a little, and it's like they focus on different aspects, but end goal is to build a responsible AI. So if you see the key focus areas: misuse, autonomy, replication, or model capabilities, and other OpenAI, cybersecurity, or CBRN's persuasion, model autonomy. More or less, their aim is to build a trustworthy AI or a responsible AI. We will look at the AI frameworks that are out there for evaluation or for the implementations. We have the ISO 42001 and NIST AI-RMF framework. The primary focus of NIST is in AIMS, that is AI management system. They include prominently around the governance, risk management, and compliance. NIST AI-RMF primarily focuses on the risk management framework, focusing on the trustworthy and reliability aspects, which we will see in the later slides. I think key aspects ISO is having around organizational governance, risk management, compliance, and legal requirements, and continuous improvements. Here, NIST, we have govern, map, measure, and manage, which are mainly focused around the risk. But you can see ethical principles, more or less, the aim or the scope of it is achieving around the transparency, fairness, security or accountability, these kind of aspects. So these are the prominent two frameworks that we do have. A little detailed into the NIST AI-RMF framework. The key aspect or the key scope of how NIST AI is defined is to ensure that they address harm to people, harm to organization, and harm to ecosystem are addressed. So how they ensure that we are able to build a trustworthy AI system is by defining these characteristics, that is valid and reliable, accountable and transparent, and making sure that safe, secure, and resilient, explainable or interpretable models, privacy enhanced models, or fair models with harmful bias managed. These aspects are incorporated into the AI building. What we see in responsible AI benchmarks for popular foundation models is we do have across this GPT-4, Llama, Claude, Gemini, Mistral. You see there are different benchmarks, and they are doing evaluations against these benchmarks. So this index actually gives us key insights on how different models are using different benchmarks, and it will be a little tricky to compare or to have the standard benchmarking a common across all the companies or all the models. And you can see this LLM assessment risks, which is comparison against the NIST CISF 2.0 COVID 2019, ISO 27001, and ISO 42001. You see the LLM, the opportunities, risks, and the EU AI Act readiness. You can see across different domains how each framework is faring. You can see already the ISO 42001 is faring 7 out of 7 in opportunities. Our risks, it is able to address 4 out of 7. And I think ISO 27001 being the long assured framework, it is also has in opportunities 7 out of 7. So these frameworks do have adoption improvement scope, but the existing frameworks are also having some kind of overlap into fulfilling that EU AI Act readiness. We do have a long way to go. Evaluating Gen AI is hard. What are those challenges? AI models have expanded capabilities. Gen AI tackles diverse tasks like summarization, chat, reasoning in unseen domains requiring specialized evaluation methods. But what we have is we have challenges in having evaluation methods, how we are going to evaluate, mostly having a combination of manual automated tools or something like that. And traditional metrics can't keep up the evaluation benchmarking. We have metrics like Rogue Blue, which actually struggle to capture the richness or the nuances. But we have already tools which are using multiple metrics and a combination of metrics, trying to achieve a better metrics over there. And human evaluation, like the challenge of scalability, that is we can't solely rely on the AI application, or we can't solely rely on the human evaluation. It is actually impractical when we are trying to advance and innovate and reduce the efforts. It will be a challenging aspect, so that at least we can have the human oversight to have that kind of gold standard in addressing any kind of critical decisions. So, an different perspective and approach into the AI cybersecurity dimensions, what we can have are defensive AI, where we are leveraging AI techniques to protect computer systems and networks from attack, where we empower our cybersecurity with AI techniques. Like anti-malware, AI enabled. Offensive AI, where we deploy AI techniques to attack computer systems and networks. And adversarial AI, where maliciously we try to exploit and or attacks AI systems and data, like trying to poison the data, or trying manipulating the data, or trying these kind of techniques to have different approaches of cybersecurity. The technical AI governance will be key, will be useful in identifying the need for governance intervention, inform the key governance decisions, and enhance the implementation of governance actions. When we have this governance enabled, we will be able to build a better responsible AI system. We also have.
I'm going to jump in here because we are unfortunately almost out of time, and I would be remiss if I didn't take an opportunity to say thank you for taking us through all of this content, anywhere from the controversial AI issues from UNESCO into looking at the frameworks and standards for risk management to highlighting some of the obvious work that we have left to do. But I want to thank you so much for joining us, for sharing this information with us. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Clara.
So we will jump to a short break while we're getting ready for our next speaker. So stick around, don't go anywhere. We have many more exciting things planned for this session in Responsible AI today.